हेलो एवरीवन, जोर से बोलो। जय माता दी बोलना होता है। वापस बोलो, जोर से बोलो। जय माता दी बोलना था यार। So मैं कहती hello, my name is Simran Tameja. I'm a business person. I create comedy content and leading today's conversation about digital media जो हमको सबको पता है. It started from TikTok, Moe Moe and all of that. But Moe Moe is it trending again, right? If we see trends, if we see in the past 4 to 5 years how digital media has just transformed, it start. Do you tell me someone यहाँ पे किसने किसने अभी तक TikTok use किया है? Who has you? Have you seen this Moe Moe wala trend? Back then it was trending.
As a consumer or as a user?
As a user, consumer, anybody who's into TikTok, watching videos, watching reels. Okay, so I'll tell you this thing. When TikTok was there were certain videos, there were certain trends that were happening. But now, recreating those trends and making funny element out of that has become trend. So, पहले का जो cringe content था, अब उसी को लेके comedy content बन रहा है. So it's ultimately completely about the old trends, having them and making something fun out of that now, right? So today's conversation is going to happen about the same thing. How digital media started from TikTok, the basic short form content, long form content, and where today it has come. Things have changed massively, right? It has changed massively. From initial being Alessandra, as we remember, we were talking about it. It was starting with photography, basic pictures, but now it's more about putting pictures into the reels because that's how engagement is being driven. So today's conversation, I would want to start with all three of you, Apurva, Sneha, and Alessandra. I would want to tell you about these three people, okay? So they're already into content, acing what they're already doing, okay? Alessandra, she has been into pictures she told me it has been almost 25 plus years now. She has been doing photography for that many years. So huge round of applause for her, first of all, okay? Then Apurva told me Sneha told me, I'm just really sorry, I'm just confused. कभी-कभी क्या होता है ना, इधर-उधर निकल जाता हूँ मैं गलती से. So she has been telling me she has been doing podcast. She is doing it with a lot of creators. She's very young. She's doing it at very young age. So huge round of applause for her starting at this point, doing so great. Okay, and she has been into a lot of things, and I don't even like. Okay, let me start with data. She has been into banking first. For 4 years, she's doing content and she's acing at it. So let me start with Alessandra first. Tell me what you think about this thing where in the past years, content was something else. Initially, it was everything people would want to do. But now it has changed massively. What is your perspective about the change that has happened in past 4 to 5 years? From TikTok to Instagram, from watching TV to Netflix. What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, hello everyone, and thank you very much for being here. And yes, the things are changing so fast.
Alessandra already told us the future is about the short form content. Don't you fear that?
To be honest, there's no such term as fear when you are into the field of content creation. Content creation ka C means consistency and courage. It's very simple for me and for every content creator, I think. When we talk about shortcuts in terms of content creation, people who are loving shortcuts are on Instagram, and people who are really wanting to achieve or learn something, they would be always on YouTube-like platforms.
Agreed.
So it's very simple and appreciated.
So exactly as you have come to YouTube, we'll drag the conversation to YouTube because YouTube, I guess, वो जगह है जहाँ पे हम actually information के लिए जाते हैं. अगर अच्छा मेरे को बताओ, आप में से कितने लोग कभी भी आपको कोई वीडियो देखना होगा जहाँ से आपको कुकिंग सीखनी है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल मेरे को घर पे छोले भटूरे बनाने हैं. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू गो ऑन Instagram and search recipe of छोले भटूरे? Nobody, because we all go on YouTube. That's where the YouTube content works, because Instagram gives you entertainment, gives you information, but in short form, whereas YouTube gives you data, gives you what can actually change. It can give you information, knowledge, and make you learn things, right? So I would want all three of you to have a conversation about YouTube. How you think about YouTube when it started 4 years back and what it is today. So we move forward next to OTT because we have gone from TV to web series. Initially we were watching shows. मतलब ना पहले ज़माने में होती थी चीज़ें. A lot of movies, old shows that we used to. Malgudi days was something I listen a lot from my mom. But now my mom is watching the same thing over internet because she finds those videos over YouTube and all of that. So that has been the shift. So let's start from YouTube. Alessandra, what would you have to add about the YouTube change that has happened in 4 years? From YouTube long videos to shorts.
Yeah. See, YouTube videos. I have started on YouTube like by mistake, like this.
गलती से mistake हो गया है.
See, I'm from Brazil. In Brazil, every time my family in Brazil, my friends in Brazil, they always used to ask me, how is it in India? How is that in India? People want to know because we are so far. People have lots of things thinking.
Culture.
And what the information about India reaches Brazil is not the truth information. So, when people used to ask, I said, I will send some videos, I will make some videos so everyone who wants to know, they can see.
Yeah.
So people started watching and they started liking what they were seeing.
There's curiosity, sense of curiosity about our nation.
What is precious about YouTube is we can tell the reality.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not like media that most of the times the media is not telling the truth.
Exactly.
Media is being corrupted. YouTube, no, you can show the reality. And what I show in my YouTube channel, I have a YouTube channel where I show my life in India. But these videos are for Brazilian audience. So most of the videos are in Brazilian Portuguese. And I receive so many messages of people saying, my God, I was thinking that India was only dirt, was only bad things, was only poverty.
Media.
Yes. And I said, no. See, it was such a huge nation.
Yeah, so
how people will think that India is only poverty? How people will think that is only
the negative part is being shown, but when we use media, we can show the reality.
Yes.
Everyone has a voice. Like even if I am there or any one of us would want to tell anything on YouTube, anything on social media, we're not bound. Okay, there'll be negativity that'll be arriving, but ultimately बोल सकते हैं whatever. We are like open to conversations, right? So I would want to know about this thing. What's your opinion about YouTube Instagram thing? Because when there are YouTubers and when there are people who are creating content on Instagram, there is a difference. Because YouTube demands quality. YouTube demands quality. Even if you're creating a 1-minute video, it demands effort. Even when I create a YouTube video and an Instagram video, Instagram pe there is no need of a lot of editing or anything. But when YouTube hai, so I'll have to put things. So what is your opinion? I would want to have you both to have a conversation about Instagram and YouTube. Maybe like a debate. You go to Instagram, you go to YouTube. So yeah.
So one thing I would like to add is for Instagram, as we say, it's very quick. So YouTube is more of an educational platform. You need to have time, you need to have those kind of patience, you have to sit down, get through an entire video. Whereas Instagram, beyond a point in life, you are career oriented, your days are too packed, but there are things you want to be updated about in the entertainment world, in the news, everywhere, what is going on. So YouTube Shorts is something which came very recently. And I have seen a trend on YouTube is that YouTube Shorts is a way to your main YouTube video. So people are kind of advertising and marketing themselves on their own platform. Basically, social media is what? Marketing yourself. Marketing yourself in ways you are useful in. You can be into lifestyle, you can be into education, cooking, podcasts, a lot of things. So when it comes to Instagram, Instagram is quick. Instagram has quick access to a lot of things. There are pages for finance, marketing, operations, logistics. People are selling tractors on Instagram.
Exactly.
Oh.
Everything on Instagram. Everything.
So there are influencers marketing tractors, JCBs. As I am a real estate developer as well, people are marketing flats, shops, complexes, and people are getting their projects sold out before even starting their construction.
The DMart viral reel, everyone knows.
Aao dikha dunga. Do you remember that trend? Aao dikha dunga. Yes, that's the concept. That's the impact Instagram is making on people's life. So beautiful, so elegant, looking like a wow. That is one of the, Instagram has become a marketplace, a point of information. It is quick, it is accessible, and because of internet in everybody's smartphone now, it is easier. It is easier to be connected, it's easier to be updated. As for YouTube, it's a little time consuming, even for the consumer as well as for the person who is on the other side of the table.
Instagram stories help a lot. Like even I read news on Vinay Pandey's story. Okay, so I read news. I don't read on newspapers, no. We just, tap on stories. A lot of us, Nagpur news, we know. We all know, right? These platforms are there, we quick, jaldi se information mil jati hai. Zyada time waste nahi karna padta hai. So what would you want to add to YouTube?
Haven't you shifted from InShots application to Instagram?
Yeah.
Drishti Sharma and Vinay Pandey's page now.
Yeah, okay.
So for me, both the platforms, not only Instagram and YouTube, I think Twitter or maybe Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, any such social media platform, when it comes to creating digital presence, we use such social media platforms. So for me, segregating both of them must be varying in terms of the usage per person or according to the person. What makes me vulnerable with both the platforms is the kind of content that I have started putting up. So for example, I have learned this very beautiful lesson when I've been invited for a TED Talk in Jamnagar, Gujarat. I was actually reading to the book which was named as Talk Like TED. And because it was the very first TED Talk that I have ever been invited for, and I had this fear in my mind that my talk has to be really impressive and it has to be engaging. When I read that book, I actually got to know that the secret behind 18 minutes TED Talk, why TED only has this formula of having the talks for lasting only for 18 minutes and not even a second after that. 18 minutes, not, yeah. So the talk do not has to exceed more than 18 minutes. So when I was going through the book, I got to know that it is scientifically proven that people do not have attention, or let's say the time span of the attention is not more than 18 minutes. So 18 minutes is the very, very, very absolute time frame for any talk to be delivered or for any topic to be delivered or conveyed to the audience. And despite knowing this fact, I always had this thing in my mind that whatever kind of podcast I would be making, trust me, my dear friends, I have actually made this an ethic of my podcasting, which is that any conversation is not going to last more than 20 minutes. And probably keeping this in mind, this is how we actually learn from different social media platforms, and we try to engage our personality and our accounts in terms of, after actually amplifying all of these learnings from our daily lives. So for me, both the platforms are good. I mean, for me, every platform is good until and unless it gives me visibility across the city or across the space that I live in. Yeah, but I'll be grateful to both the companies and both the platforms. I mean, this has given me other next level of identity, and what more does we want? What more do we want? That's it.
So this is it about the platforms where we are talking about social media. I would want to extend the conversation to Netflix and OTT platforms. Like how as a consumer, abhi tak we are talking as creators. Let's talk as consumers. And here I would want to not just have conversation over the panel. I would want any of you to ask questions, or let's involve in the panel where you want to talk about OTT, like any platform. Anything to add on from any of you? Any of you, we would hand over the mic. Yeah, please. Or do we have an extra mic?
As well. The learning outcomes in recent years have gone very much down when we see the results of students. And the reasons for this has gone social media.
Okay.
The consumption in social media is increasing. The attention deficit, the span of attention is becoming lower and lower. Child is not able to concentrate even in his class now. So in these situations, the next generation, which is this Gen Z.
Gen Z. Gen
Yeah.
Z. Is anybody here? Gen Z? Okay, Gen Z kids are here. They'll
Yeah,
be
yeah,
offended. But anyways, hi guys.
So my question is, moving forward, what can be done to increase those educational outputs? The knowledge is being confused with information, and the wisdom is being confused with knowledge, and we are producing the confused next generations when it comes to education sector. Yeah, the creative sector is getting a boost.
Kids, उनके दिमाग में अब ये चीज़ भर गई है कि यार इंस्टाग्राम पे जल्दी क्विक इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल रही है मेरे को, तो मैं इतना डिटेल में क्यों पढूं? Okay, so that's when practice comes in picture. When you make your students involve into actively participating, that's what I believe. ठीक है, मतलब simple है कि कार कैसे चलानी है ये YouTube वीडियो देखने से तो नहीं आने वाला है. So educational institutes will have to focus on the part where you make them drive a car. That's what social media can't do. राइट सो व्हेन सोशल मीडिया जो कर सकता है वो तो वो करेगा, वो आप रोक नहीं सकते हो. आप वो कर सकते हो तो सोशल मीडिया नहीं कर सकता है, राइट? सो आई बिलीव एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट शुड बी डूइंग दैट. मीनवाइल दैट्स माय ओपिनियन. आई वुड वांट ऑल ऑफ देम टू ऐड ऑन टू इट, राइट?
Hi, sir. Hello. I'm so happy that you have put up this question because a lot of parents still have this question कि यार मेरे बच्चे के पास में ना attention ही नहीं बचता है, वो बैठ ही नहीं सकता है 15 मिनट जगह पे. See, the problem is not with social media, guys. The problem is with the control that we have over our mind and the kind of upbringing that we have, or maybe the kind of learning, or maybe the mold that we have for our mindset. I think a lot of us here would definitely agree that life is all about what our mind asks us to do. For example, let's say if I say myself कि यार स्नेहा आज तेरे को इतना टास्क करना है मतलब करना है. सोशल मीडिया उसका हिस्सा नहीं है. मेरा माइंड मुझे कहता है स्नेहा बाद में कर लेना, 10 मिनट थोड़ा सोशल मीडिया पे देख लेते हैं, तो ये मेरे दिमाग का दोष है, ये सोशल मीडिया का दोष नहीं है. Yes, Alice. Alice, you would.
So we would want to actually have this open conversation. Her kids are here. So Alessandra, please tell us how. That's your opinion.
Yeah, see, everything is changing every day. Every day, everything is totally different from what we used to learn. And we have to understand that we have to go with this changing. We cannot stay where we used to stay before. So sometimes we have to be flexible. We cannot be very rigid. We have to be flexible because the things are changing in the world. We cannot stay in the past. So at home, we don't allow kids to have mobiles or these things. When we go out like we are now in public, my son, 2 of them, they are watching mobile because they have to stay quiet. So we cannot continue this conversation. But we have to have a limit. But at the same time, they have to have some time for them. They have to understand that there is time for everything. There is time to watch the TV after all the homework is completed, after everything is done. So this screen time is about entertainment time. So we have to understand that important things has to come first. So education has to come first. So and I am totally against this of mixing things like kids with mobile in the school. I think this is not the way. I think we have to keep it very separated.
Like, I
and they have to understand that they have to have time for everything.
For everything.
Yeah.
You need to give them the schedules, basically, you mean to say. We need to tell them. Yeah, so we will go to another question. Yes, definitely. So who has? Yeah.
Sir, to your question, the only answer that I have being a content creator is जब आप कुछ प्रोड्यूस करते हो कोई भी सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म पे यू नो कि आज के जनरेशन में वो अटेंशन टाइम स्पैन नहीं है या वो उतने स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं है व्हाट यू कैन डू एट योर लेवल इज हाउ कैन यू मेक द एंटायर सिलेबस क्रिएटिव सो दैट आपके बच्चे वो सुनने के लिए रेडी रहे प्रॉब्लम सोशल मीडिया में जो है वो है बट वॉट कैन यू डू एट योर लेवल इज ओनली टू मेक योर सेल्फ अडेप्टेबल टू द करंट सिचुएशन दैट्स द ओनली थिंग दैट यू कैन डू एंड ट्रस्ट मी वी कैन हैव अ लॉट ऑफ कॉन्वर्जेशन ऑन दिस आफ्टर we get over this, okay?
Exactly. When you, जो बच्चे ऐसे ही होते हैं, when they are having fun doing something, they'll do it. If that's social media, if that's studying, that's okay. See, even we have little kids, you know, my brother and everyone, so they teach their kids in a very funny way. So, पढ़ लेंगे, नहीं तो नहीं पढ़ेंगे. Because
I have one
kids,
thing to add here. So every individual is different. When it comes to a perspective where, as Alessandra said, it's important to keep things separate. But at the same time, it's important to keep it entertaining as well. Kids nowadays are very different to what we were back 2 decades back, 3 decades back. Kids are very different. They are very finicky because there is so much happening all at once. So it is very important to keep studies and the other social world interactive enough so that the student is attentive enough to be updated with it. Create the kind of atmosphere where the person wants to be educated enough to be a part of a conversation. It is very important to tell your kid about what is happening in the world today. आज एक बच्चे को बोल दो न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ना है, नहीं पढ़ेगा वो. उसको बोलो ये स्टोरी देख ले पूरा, बता क्या न्यूज़ में चल रहा है आज, वो अभी बता देगा क्या चल रहा है.
बता देगा, exactly. And kids are very smart. They know how to handle, पूरा फ़ोन चलाना आ रहा है. They know there are these little kids creating content on Instagram. They're getting viral. And I'm like, shit, भाई तेरा 1 मिलियन है, मेरे 100 फॉलोअर्स नहीं बढ़ रहे एक दिन में. डिप्रेशन हो रहा है, डिस्प्रेशन. So that's what is happening, okay? That's what's happening. So yeah, somebody has a question.
I wanted to ask, how was your all journey when you all decided to start the content creation journey on social media, and how were the experience at the initial levels, and how you managed your time while you study, your work, and with the content creation at the social media?
So I would like to ask, how did you find your niche? And I know that there are limited niches which have almost been, like your nightlife been captured and a few news reporter channels. But what are the limitations you face when you go, you know, you are limiting to a city. So what are the limitations you face when you want to grow? And second is a question on lighter note. So there's 2 things. There's offering value and there's entertainment. So all the, you know, channels who offer value, Instagram, like, you know, there are few channels, information based or infotainment, which say, and then there's glamour and entertainment. And with all beautiful women sitting, you all, what advantage do you have in that aspect in algorithms? Well, I see, you know, girls with 10K, 20K just posting pictures of themselves. So it's entertainment and or more power to them. But what advantage do you see in that aspect of content creation?
How to teach the younger generation, because by the time they would understand, they have consumed the podcast or they have consumed the video or anything else. So they are wasting their time. So how to be, मतलब उनको कैसे समझाऊं कि ये relevant है और वो नहीं है before even watching it, because once वो start हो गया watch करना, वो ख़त्म किए बिना रुकने नहीं वाला.
See, the journey is always about experiments, tries and errors. So the first thing that everybody has to do is to have that courage of really making the profile visible for everybody else in the market. तो मेरे लिए पहला challenge ये था कि मैं अपने private profile से public profile करूँ, because I am a girl. And I come from a Marwadi family. So now, having said that, बहुत restrictions आ जाते हैं जब आप एक लड़की और आप एक मारवाड़ी family से belong करते हो. तो पहला करेज तो यहाँ लग जाता है. दूसरा, whenever you start with anything, your life has to have an objective or a purpose behind it. So for me, it was very simple that I always believed in having my own personal brand. I want people to know who Sneha Tauri is as a person. I want people to know स्नेहा टाउरी के काम को स्नेहा टाउरी के नाम से, ना कि काम को जान के फिर लोग मेरे तक के पहुँचे. Nobody knows मैकडी का ओनर अभी कौन है. Everybody knows McD as a brand first and then the owner of McD, just because McD has become a brand now. So I want people to know who Sneha Tower is. तो मेरे लिए वो objective बहुत defined है. You want your personal brand to get created, तो ये आपके लिए एक objective बन जाएगा. तो it has to be on your level. There has to be a try and error. There has to be a on-paper analysis that you have to do. I always believed in my life to write down everything, whatever I wish to achieve on a piece of paper. Yes? I decided 7 to 8 months back. Age, I am 21.11 right now. 21, yeah, I have my birthday next month. So you all can wish me on Instagram. And acha, by the way, I'm very much excited for my birthday, okay? I do not compromise on celebrating my birthday. So I just started now. You can start even by now. There's no such time limit. You start today. We'll meet after this meet and we'll discuss more.
Zeenat Aman started very late, but still she's doing very well, isn't it? Isn't she? I think she's doing very well.
Look at
Isn't she?
Neena Gupta.
I didn't see
Neena
her videos.
Gupta is so active.
Neena Gupta is also.
Look at Alyssa. She is doing from 25 years, but then now she has actually taken over all the platforms and now she had actually experimented. She said that YouTube पे वो mistake से आ गई है. So it was not planned and life में unplanned चीज़ें हमेशा काम करती है. तो वही चीज़ करना आपने हमेशा. और किसका क्या question था सर? आपका क्या question था? Correct. Okay. सबसे पहले तो there is a huge line in between being an influencer and being a content creator. For me, I'm a content creator. I never would wish to become an influencer. It is all about black money. So sorry, but it's a very straightforward fact. And the second thing is, the challenges that I particularly faced when I said that I am coming from a Marwari background and I am a girl. When I take podcast, when I conduct podcast, it becomes essential for me to grow pan-India and not just stay to this particular city, Nagpur. जब मैं ये सोचती हूँ तो initially आप कुछ भी content creation करो, there has to be a small amount of investment that you have to put in monetary basis पे. तो जब मैं ये कहती हूँ इसका मतलब ये है कि आज अगर मैं podcast shoot कर रही हूँ तो कैमरे का cost, production team का cost, mic का cost या मेरे setup का cost, ये सारे investments आ जाते हैं. अब ये investment आने के बाद में अगर मुझे out of नागपुर कहीं जाना है तो सिर्फ मेरा investment नहीं है, मेरे साथ में आने वाले production team का investment है, उसके साथ में आने वाला प्रोडक्शन इक्विपमेंट्स का इन्वेस्टमेंट है. अब ये इन्वेस्टमेंट करने की मेरी ताकत है क्या? मैं आज अगर मैं currently I'm a final year architecture student and I really have to think twice before spending money onto any of such things. अगर मैं किसी गेस्ट को अपने पॉडकास्ट पे बुला रही हूँ तो that guest has to be worth enough. जितना पैसा मैं प्रोडक्शन को दे रही हूँ वो गेस्ट उतना वर्थ होना चाहिए कि उनके लिए मैं उतना इन्वेस्ट करूं. और अगर मुझे बदले में उतना विजिबिलिटी उनके थ्रू नहीं मिल रहा है तो आई प्रॉब्ली हैव टू स्विच विद द गेस्ट. सो दैट इज वन लिमिटेशन फॉर मी.
I have a question. Sorry, being an illiterate digital user, what is the difference between influencer and creator? I mean, you said some money is involved. Because I don't know. I hope many of we do. What?
The behind the story that goes upon, it's very different. You always see the number of followers on your Instagram. But what you not see is the type of audience associated with that platform. For example, if I am having a clothing store, I'm inviting an influencer having more than 1 lakh followers. I have my clothing store based in Nagpur. But अगर मैं किसी influencer को बुला रही हूँ जिसका 1 लाख से ज़्यादा following है, वो influencer मुझे minimum 10,000 रुपए कोट करेगा. This is a very strange fact and this is, I mean, everybody knows this. अब जब मैं वो 10,000 रुपये एक मिनट की रील के लिए उसको दे रही हूँ तो मैं as an owner of the store, I do not know कि मेरे store पे कितना footfall आएगा. See, what we know is the number of views that a reel gets on Instagram, but what we do not know is how much business it has turned for the store. ये बहुत hidden fact है.
I would like to add something on this. So there is a thing called insights on Instagram. So I'm not lawyering Instagram here.
Yeah.
But I know how this Instagram system works. Because as an influencer, if I am going to pitch a clothing brand, I am supposed to provide them with insights. That's how you are supposed to be transparent with the brand. You're supposed to tell them your audience. There is a male to female ratio in your profile. You can see the demographics, the location, the age group that you're catering to, depending on your views, your followers, your engagement. So if you give that kind of justification to the brand doesn't mind paying. Because influencer marketing through the pandemic has skyrocketed. Right now, every brand that is launched in India or globally thinks of influencer marketing. Affiliate programs, I don't know how many people are aware of it. Affiliate programs are programs that brands start. Always go on a good global brand page and go to the career options. There is an affiliate program where you're supposed to onboard yourself. Your entire background check will be done, and your engagement or whatever platform you are staged at will be thoroughly checked, and you will get your coupon codes, you will get a proper platform to actually earn money. Instagram is a very legit platform when it comes to associating with brands, because there are a lot of brands who are not marketing themselves anywhere else other than Instagram and are actually becoming very big. There are influencers at the moment like Juhi Godambe, then there is Siddhi Karwa. You've heard of Nish Hair. Nish Hair came, Parul Gulati. Parul Gulati came to Shark Tank and got an investment, as well as she got 2 sharks at the same time. This is Instagram. Instagram is very powerful. You should know how to use it, because obviously there are pros and cons to every platform that you're staged at.
Exactly.
So Instagram is good and bad both at the same time, but putting a tag of that influencers are not marketing themselves well will be a very strong statement, I believe.
Exactly. I would like to add to this, and it's beyond, Sneha. The moment you know that brands have become very smart now. There are the people you told about, the store who's paying certain money, they would pay you 10,000, but those people are only 10 to 12% who just pay, see the views, end of the story. Because see, there is the difference, I'll tell you, between an influencer and a content creator, sir. The difference is that an influencer is creating whatever they love. They blog their life. They just, create out of love. They just put it out all there. But when you talk about a content creator, they are actually putting 3, 4, 5 hours. And the difference is, either you love to watch the videos and then you are a fan. There is a difference.
So,
there is a huge difference.
What we can say is, those who are, sir, आप जो तोहमत लगा रहे हो वीडियो इन्फ्लुएंसर्स कि वो अटेंशन स्पैन कम कर रहे हैं, इनका खुद का अटेंशन स्पैन 4-4, 5-5 घंटे
5 घंटे का है सर.
एक 5 मिनट का वीडियो बनाने के लिए 5-5 घंटे.
Exactly, I'll tell you. Exactly, there was this recent brand I worked with. So the concept we worked on, conversation was happening for a week. And then the conversation happens. I would say this, there were 10 to 12 already, there were videos that happened. But then they wanted something different. So when I'm a content creator, expectation is different, because my audience loves me madly. Because और मेरे को सोचना पड़ेगा, because मैं अपने audience को अगर कोई चीज़ बोलूँ, I can commit to you, इतने लोग आएंगे. और उतने लोग आएंगे, because those people love me. They watch my content, they are involved in my content. They are not involved in my life. If you're involved in someone's life, you're watching it कि हाँ ठीक है मज़ा आ रहा है. But हाँ ठीक है watch करने में and I am waiting for this person to post the video is very different. Okay, people.
As you said that you have a very loyal fan base.
Exactly.
It is very important for an influencer to be responsible on every grounds.
Exactly.
People, every page has a personality, be it a person or a product. People follow that page because you have fun watching it. Instagram is not something you only go for information. It is 99% for entertainment. You are scrolling it for entertainment. You are getting your product staged because you want to make money out of it. People are making brands out of it. And there are people who are actually influencing lives, inspiring people to start. As he's just said that he has started a page. Obviously, he must have seen somebody doing the similar. And it is very courageous to start. You have to start and be very consistent. As you said, content creator. even for an influencer, as content creator is courageous, even as for an influencer, it very gradually develops. Nobody becomes an influencer in a night. You have to be very consistent and very responsible with what are you posting and what are you talking about.
Ma'am, I think we need to conclude this session.
Yeah, I'll just have 2 minutes from Alessandra and want to know how it is going for you to put, like whenever there is a brand, how you make a check-in forth. I think this has to be there. कि कोई brand आ रहा है तो how you decide if you need to actually post that, and that brand has to go to your audience. Is it the right brand? Is it the wrong brand? How you check that?
Yeah, I used to do this kind of collaborations with brands since last year or 2 years ago, but then I have totally stopped because most of the places it was eateries or restaurants, and people pay you some money like 5,000, 10,000 rupees to make one reel and some stories. And can you say the truth when you are receiving money from someone and you have to? No, you cannot say the truth. So I have stopped totally. So now when I have to do, or I know that place and I really want to tell positive things about that, or I say no, I will not do. So now I am, since more than 1 year, I am working like this because, see, what is this amount of money?
It's more
Some content creators, they are doing very well, very big, it's okay. But what I am trying to do is showing something which not only because I want likes or I want followers, but because this is my life, especially. I want to do something genuine, something which I will not look back and say, my God, see what I was doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You should love yourself when you see back what you did in the past.
Yes.
Right?
So one important thing that I will tell for people who wants to start this life of content creation is, if you want to earn money, you have to really engage and put your time. But if what is more important for you is what you really enjoy, you really think that will add something to people's life, you try to keep aside some of your time to earn money in other field. And do your content creation when you have some free time. Okay?
Exactly.
So this is very important because life is not only about earning money or earning likes or followers. Life is more than that. See, on YouTube, I'm more than 4 years on YouTube. I have 10,000 followers. What is 10,000 followers? Why I'm not having 100,000? Because I'm not buying followers. Because I am not lying on my videos, because I am not only making dancing shows.
Exactly.
I am doing what I really think that is important for me. Instagram is the same. What I'm doing is because I really like, I really enjoy, and I'm doing what is important for me. So in this world of internet, we have to be very careful because there are the two sides of the coin. Or you will become a very big star, or you will be yourself. You will be truth, and you have to think about values.
I would really want to thank all three of you for coming here, having the conversation. For the audience that you've been, the questions you've put, you can always have a conversation after this. And thank you so much, Alessandra. Thank you so much, Sneha. Thank you so much, Apurva. Okay, I remixed again. इधर उधर निकल जाता हूँ मैं. So thank you so much, everyone.